what's going on YouTube? This is Russell of AmbeRussell. Make sure you guys subscribe at the top, thumbs up the video, leave a comment at the bottom. Watch previous videos and stay tuned what we have in the future. So in the past couple of weeks I've been talking about the debt crisis going on in America, and these people who are in office I feel as though aren't making the right decisions to make our country better. They rather see their party and have their party's wishes get fulfilled rather than seeing what's good for the whole entire nation. First of all, they need to start taxing these wealthy businesses as well as these wealthy people. I don't understand how people are getting tax breaks when they're making so much money. That's so much money that's not getting into our country system. Point blank period is that. I understand how I think it was GE earned about $7 billion this last quarter and in tax return or whatever, and they got back about $3 billion in tax refunds, whereas the average working class person getting taxed and they're having to pay tax. I understand that's money that could be going back into our country. I understand why these people are having these tax breaks. It needs to come to an end. I understand what Bush was smoking when he said that, but he was rather helping out his fellow people than thinking about the whole entire nation. That's one thing that really hurt our economy. Another thing is these companies need to stop outsourcing their jobs. They need to start having it made in the U.S. They're saying that, oh, when we outsource this, that, and the third, it's cheaper for the people, but it's actually not. I understand how these people are getting away with selling products for so much money, and yet they're earning so much money from, they're saving so much money from having it made in the sweatshop. They're saving so much money by someone who lives across the world, answering their customer service calls, and they have a thick accent, and they aren't able to really help me as if it was someone who was born here in America. We have too many people here who are getting away with all these social reforms that are illegal or that aren't even trying to make their lives better. We need to stop that. If you are able to work, don't go on unemployment. Actually try to find a new job rather than taking money that taxpayers are getting. As well as I noticed that in my school, people who get financial aid, they get so much money, and yet instead of using all that money for books, they rather save money by not buying a certain book or whatever and use the money for themselves. Also, just all sorts of stuff that the country could do, and yet they're not taking the steps to do it. I feel as though these people are thinking with their emotions rather than with their brains and for the good of the whole entire nation. A lot of people, according to CNN, about like 70% of the country says these wealthy people need to get taxed. Also, these people have so much hatred towards Obama because of the fact that he's black. There's someone that call him a boy, and there's someone else who call him a Tarbaby. Their racism towards him is they're not even scared to hide it. They're just showing off so blatantly and so obvious, and that they don't even care anymore to try to hide it. These people rather see him fail just so that he won't become president again. They rather see our country go down in flames and say this was the president that was at the time, so don't re-elect him, than actually see our country do good and have him be the target of the blame. And I just think that's really sick, and that's really sad that our country's like that right now, but that's how I feel it is. And these people in power really need to either step up the game or they need to get fired, and just stuff like that, and just stop and just cut spending for our country. We need to stop going over to other countries. We need to have our resources here in our country. We need to stop spending money for stuff overseas. We need to use our own resources, and we need to just, figure out what to do. And these people rather not figure out what to do, but they rather just run around and make sure that their own people are getting help. And moving on from that topic, one thing I always was wondering about are the people that we call stans. They're crazy fans, like the song Eminem came out with, the Stan song, and understand what their thought process is. If you are a fan of, let's say, Rihanna, what does that help Rihanna look better if you go to a blog about, let's say, Katy Perry, and say Katy Perry sucks, Katy Perry is not talented, etc., etc. What good does that do to Rihanna, or how does that make her look better by making Katy Perry look dumb? I don't get that. I understand how these stands could make a Twitter page or make a YouTube page or make a Facebook page and have it dedicated to this one certain celebrity that they love. I don't know about you, but I know that my computer holds, a couple of thousands of files and a couple of hundreds of thousands of files and a couple of thousands of songs. So I understand why these people cannot like other types of music. I understand you can have a favorite, but I understand how you could have someone that you will talk about 24/7 and you will make it your duty in your life and your goals to just talk about this one person and make sure everyone else looks bad around them that is not that person. And I understand how you could talk about how a Rihanna fan could talk about Katy Perry when Rihanna was through Katy Perry her bachelorette party. I understand that. I don't understand the thought process of these people. I mean, maybe these fans need to get a brain check or whatever. And I understand how some of these fans could say one thing one time, but as soon as something happens to their favorite, the same exact thing, they could finally see the light and see the day. But when it's not happening to their favorite, they can't see it. I understand how these people who stand for this one person, how they could care so much about other people's failures and how sick they are. I was reading one blog or whatever the other day, and someone left a comment saying, hope this person gets AIDS and their baby dies, and there's so much unnecessary stuff. Someone was talking about Ken Brandy on the grape juice, I think it's called, or whatever. I'm not sure which blog I was on. And the person was talking about could Brandy have a comeback or whatever, and the person says no because she killed 3 people in the car accident. First of all, that was uncalled for. That's nothing necessary. That wasn't even about what the article was about. I don't understand how these people think or what's wrong with them. Maybe they need to get their brain tested out. But these people have no lives, first of all, because they care so much about this one single person that they make it their duty to post every single second of that other person's life. Why don't you worry about tweeting about your own life instead of tweeting about what Beyonce is doing, what Janet's doing, what Gaga's doing, what Katy, what Usher, what Chris Brown's doing, what Justin Bieber's doing. I don't understand how Justin Bieber fans could talk so dirty about Selena Gomez and say they want to kill her just because she's dating him. First of all, Justin Bieber does not want you. Second of all, they're probably not doing anything anyways. Selena Gomez is only with Justin Bieber to make herself more famous, and Justin Bieber is only with Selena Gomez so people won't call him gay. That's it. Point blank, simple as that. Anyways, I understand where your stands are coming from. Maybe you guys could tell me what it is, why you feel the need that you could say to talk dirty about other people and to, say all sort of stuff like that. And how it makes your person look better by degrading this other person. I don't get it. Speaking of stands, Beyonce, she just went platinum, and this really brought this to my attention because people are like, oh well, she's platinum, but she must have bought all her albums herself. That doesn't help your favorite's album. That's help your favorite's career. That doesn't help Britney Spears' career. That doesn't help Britney Spears sell more records. That doesn't help Lady Gaga sell more records. If you're talking about Beyonce supposedly buying her own CDs. Also, I'm getting sick and tired of people saying this is so-and-so fill in the blank and Adele's year. Fuck that. This is just Adele's year. She's going to be the one with all the Grammy nominations coming up in December. She's the one who's not going to take home a bunch of them as well. She's probably not going to take home as much as, let's say, the rest of the other females did with the 5 in one night because there's so many less awards. There's so many less categories to be nominated in. So, but anyway, she still will be the one to take home the most and not your favorite. If Adele's your favorite, then she will be. But the ones that stand for Rihanna, Katy Perry, Lady Gaga, Beyonce, Christina, Janet, whoever, they're not going to be the ones taking home multiple Grammys in that night. It'll be Adele that will be taking home most of them. Congratulations is in need for Katy Perry, who is very, very close to having her 5th #1 single come out for one album on Billboard Hot 100. This fate hasn't been done since Michael Jackson's Bad album, as well as she has 5 #1s straight on the pop charts from off of one album. It hasn't been done since, I believe they say, Michael Jackson's Bad album. So that's a really good look for her. And though it's maybe an Adele year, Katy Perry is next in line to having a really successful career right after Adele, with a very heavy chance to get a couple of Grammy nominations as well. I think people who might get nominated will be in another video that's coming up after this. there's this underground rapper, I think his name is Machine Gun Kelly, and they call him NGK, and he was just signed to BadBoy record label, and best luck to you. I guess he didn't get the memo what working with Diddy means, and just the catalog of artists that were signed to BadBoy in the past couple of years and what happened to them, which is nothing. Cassie's second album was supposed to release in 2008, and it's been 3 years. I was not even in my senior year when Official Girl came out, and that was the summer before my senior year actually, and that album still has yet to come out. Red Cafe, he was not even featured on Last Train to Paris. No one from BadBoy record label was featured on that. Look at what happened with Danny Kane, Day 26, making the band. Anyone from making the band, anyone from making his band. I have never seen any of those people who were on that reality show for that band Diddy was making. The drummer and the bass and the backup singers, they haven't been in the live shows. So the best of luck to you, but I doubt anything's going to happen with him. I mean, signing with Diddy is a kiss of death. You are better off being unsigned and unknown to the majority of people, because at least as an independent artist, you could release your music more freely than when you're on a contract. You have to do whatever Diddy says, and if he says you have to make 3 albums with me, you have to make 3 albums with him. Look at what happened with Mace. Mace tried to get off of BadBoy record label since his comeback, and that didn't do well with him. And he was stuck on the record label. He couldn't make any music. He retired again because of the fact of that. He wanted to go to G-Unit, I guess, and he couldn't, and no one wants him anymore. And so Diddy finally released him back in like 08 or 09 or whatever. And I don't understand why anyone will ever fuck with Diddy anymore. He'll rape you as an artist. He'll leave you out to dry. As soon as he doesn't need you anymore, he'll run you out like a washcloth, like a lemon, and take all your juice and stuff out and leave you with the rind, and he drinking the lemonade. And that's how you've always been. You can't name one person that was signed to BadBoy record label 10 years ago who's hot now. You can't name anyone off his entire roster list who is relevant right now in this music industry. So there's a lot of people who were, in the 90s who aren't that much famous, but within the past 10 years, none of those people have been doing anything at all. I mean, 112 hasn't had a hit since the Peaches and Cream days. Faith Evans hadn't had a hit since that Fatman Scoop remix type thing. Love Like This before. I don't even know. All the people that total. All the people from the 90s only made it up to about 2000, 2001. Danny Kane split up because of Diddy, because he wanted to do unto himself and just all sorts of stuff. So good luck, best luck to you. Machine Gun Kelly, whatever your name is, and he's a white kid, maybe that's why he doesn't know about BadBoy. But can Kelly Rowland have a solid solo career? I don't think she can. As well as Nicole Scherzinger, I don't think she will ever be able to make it in the States. Her album just got pushed back to November, which is a good plus because she will be on X Factor and be the judge, but she doesn't seem like the type to really explode too much. I think she was too comfortable with the girls, and America doesn't like her too much because she was already solo in the Pussycat Dolls. What did she need to go solo and break and end all of their careers? I don't understand that, and I think that's what a lot of people in America have a sour feeling about with her. And Jason Derulo, will he ever be able to stand out on his own? I don't think he will be able to when there's a world of Usher and Chris Brown going on. And to me, he's not the best singer. He's a pretty good entertainer. I think he should start sticking with the singles because, What You Say, that song, and Brian Solo, those songs, and another one, those went double to triple platinum, whereas his album didn't even go gold. So I think he should focus on more about making less of an effort of making albums and start focusing on just having a single out here and here, and maybe have an EP here and have a mixtape come out, and not focus too much on making an actual album because it's not working out for him at all. But this is Russell, AmbeRussell, and as far as Kelly Rowland goes, she doesn't put too much effort into it. her performances aren't always decent enough to say, "Ooh, there goes Kelly." People like to compare her to Brandy, but here's the biggest difference between Brandy and Kelly Rowland. I was reading this on someone's comment on the blog, and the difference between Kelly and Brandy is this: Brandy had a solid solo career on her own. Kelly Rowland has never had a good solo career. She never had a good solo album, whereas Brandy has had a good, album with Never Say Never, as well as the Full Moon album, which sold pretty decently, whereas Kelly Rowland only went gold and nowhere else. And this is all I got to say. This is Russell, AmbeRussell. Subscribe to the show. Thumbs up the video, leave a comment at the bottom.